Good afternoon everybody, welcome to the flower patch. My name's Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome guys, thank you for all your wonderful messages again concerning my health. I am feeling much better today, so the medication is really working, which I feel a bit more alive today. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a love heart spring stroke summer wicker wreath. I've still got it in the pattern in the package. It is a 16 inch. I know some people have asked me if I've done one on a wicker before. I can get it out of the bag. I have done one on these before, quite a few on just the round ones as well as the love heart. They are got more gaps in, so you do really have to make sure that you get them, you know, enough glue on for them to stay in. So we've got a white one out. I did have some like slate grey, but I've run out of those, but I decided let's do it on a white one to lift the spirits. Now it hasn't got a hook on it, so I'm not going to place on a hook what I usually place on. I'm going to get some wire. I may have to double up with it, but this is exceptionally heavy, so I may have to double up, and I'm going to thread the wire around the back to create my own loop. So I've got the white wire. Let me just get another. I have got the white ones in the longer lengths. These are 16 inch long, and I do have, I think, the 10 inch as well, or 12 inch. So I may have to double up with those. So I'm going to do it in oranges and yellows. I sat here just about 10 minutes ago and thought, what colour shall I do? I haven't done oranges. Right, let's do orange and yellow. Bring the spring life. Now I have done a small bow. It is in the 5/8 and a 7/8. I have got the the orange, and then these horizontal stripes, yellow and white stripe in the 5/8, and I don't know if I'm going to put that in. I may place it in. We'll see as we go along. But I have placed in a cable tie at the back to thread through the wicker. It's not going to go all the way through, so I'm going to have to thread it through some of the actual wicker itself here, just underneath, and bring it back to the front, because you can't go through it. So that's what we're going to use. Now I've got the rest of these scraps that I've got left of the eucalyptus, but I have brought out just about 3 stems or so of the new ones in case I need more. I've cut off a bunch, some of my boxwood. They do come on a big bunch, these, so I've cut a few down. I don't know if I'm going to use these. I may, but I've got out 3 bells of Ireland as well. They are very long, so obviously I'm going to have to cut them down. I don't really want to be cutting them in half, but if it means I have to, then I will. I've also got out 3 bunches or stems of the yellow thistle with the foliage that is like the texture of the lamb's ear, which I love that sort of thing. I find it very soft. So it is in a lemon colour, because I don't want all, you know, the vibrant yellow. I have got out some more of my wax flower and placed a few on single picks in advance. I found some scraps of the yellow lavender, so I'm going to just put those in so I can use up the scraps. I think one's coming off there. I have got out my wispy bits, my gerbras, my baby gerbras, or you may call them gerbera daisies, in the yellow and orange mix. I have got out some bigger lemon coloured roses also. And if I'm going to use the bells of Ireland, I need something long to go with them. So I have got out my orange myrtle as well. I've cut a few pieces down also of that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, but I have got the orange ruscus as well. I may go for a different colour. And I've cut the last two bunches of the poppies. I don't want them as a spray, so I've cut them off individually off of the main stem. So I've got some of our wild orange poppies also. So that's what we're going to do today, and that's on the big rattan or wicker. I don't know, some people call them wicker. Let me just take the tag off. But we're going to go and do that. I'm not going to do a full wreath because I want to show off some of this. So I want it just going down one side. So let me bring the camera down and we'll get started. I tell you, I do feel much better today. I feel a bit more jolly. I'm going to bring the camera around here so you can see everything that I'm doing, because it is quite a big wreath and they are heavy. So try to make sure that you put a hook on that will support the weight of these. So let's try the hook first. I haven't I used to have thicker wire, so what I'm going to do, I think maybe I might put excuse me, I might place 3 together so it's got much more support. And what I'm going to do, let's just see which I want for the front. Yeah, we'll have that as the front. So I'm going to use this at the back, and I'm going to just try and look where I can thread the if I do it one at a time, thread the wire through. I've got my needle nose pliers to grab, because you can't always get your fingers down there. Right, so I've pulled that through like so. Just make sure you try to pull it so they are both at the equal lengths. So it's around there. So I'm going to get the other one. Hopefully guys, fingers crossed, I can get all 3 in. Oops, I've just pulled that one. We'll measure all the others for the same length as once we've got them all out. So there's 2. And we'll try our last. Again, if you've got, you know, a stronger wire that you don't need to put this many in and it will hold the weight, then that's just as good, probably better. But I've not got the thicker wire. I can't remember when I last had some, probably last year at some point. So I'm struggling to get the 3rd one in, but we'll keep trying. I just get that and try and grab that and push it. There we go. So I'm going to again make sure they're all at the same length, or thereabouts. Oh, that's a different one. So I've got them all together, and again this is going to be at the back. You can, if you want, twist these around each other so they're not individually apart. Keep them all together so it looks neater. So that's one. Just like you would twist around the back of your bow, just do that, because these are quite tough, so sometimes they're harder to you know, twist. So I'm going around there, and I'm gonna just join the top. So we've got it now as one. So then I'm going to place them, uncross them over like that, and then I'm going to just go under or through the loop. Let me just grab it through, and I'm going to wrap them singular around the ends, just around like so. Let me just, again, these are harder to do by hand and wrap around. That's one. And then I'm going to go under with this one, is over like I did with the other. And they're very, it's very tough. I'm going to flatten where the ends of the wire, just so it doesn't scrape on anyone's door. If I can't get it all round, then I'll snip off the bits I can't, like that, and that one. So now we have our hook on the back there. If you can move it around so this thicker piece goes down here, so it's not seen as much, but unfortunately I can't. So what you can do, if you don't want to see that, you can get some white or whatever colour you're using, floral tape. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue here where I'm starting, where I will start to wrap it around, and just to make it look neater. You could use green, it's entirely your decision. I'm only using white because the wire is white. Let me just take a bit off first. The wire is white, and also the wreath is. So I like to sort of like try and go with the colour of the actual wreath. If I'm doing a grapevine wreath and that, I do tend to use more of a natural twine. So we're going to now go, and I'm just pulling a bit on the tape, by just pulling, but not too hard because it will snap. I'm just pulling it so then the adhesive or the sticky glue that's being incorporated in the tape will activate. So it will look much neater. You don't have to place the tape on. I'm just doing it because it's sharp on the ends of the wire and I don't want it to scratch on anyone's door. And I'm going below where the ends of the wire finish, so that's covered up as well. And because this tape eventually over time does loosen its stickiness, that's the reason I tend to place glue on the beginning and at the end, so then if it doesn't come off. or, you know, start to lose its stickiness on the ends and start to come undone. So because I've got the rest of this left, I will go back over and I'm pressing some of it down to make sure that it's sticking with the tape underneath as I pull. I mean, you don't have to use the rest of this, you can stop whenever you like. But there's not really much left on here, so we may as well just use the rest of it. And then because I've got a little bit left, I will get a bit of glue. I mean, use your glue gun and just place a bit of glue on the inside of the tape. And then carry on going around till it sticks on and it won't come off. Just get that little bit of a glue string. So there is our hook, and it's not going to be sharp on anybody's door, so we'll move those out of the way. Right, let's get started. So I'm wanting to place on our eucalyptus first, and again we're going to start here where the point is in the center. Just run your finger up here, and that's where you're going to place your first stem inside there. So some of these can be a bit hard because there's no movement in them, so you just have to try and look for somewhere to place them. And then I'm going to go straight to the bottom opposite here, and I'm going to place one. If I could turn it around and do it so I can see, place one in here as well. Now if you don't like your leaves back to front, then just twist them round like so. So that's where I'm going to start, and that's where I'm going to finish. So I want him to place these going around. So let's go in there. Again, they are a little bit harder to do than the, let's get that off, I don't know what that is, you know, than a normal wreath, because you've not got that where you can slide it along the green. So you're just looking for the holes to place something in, and if it goes in, then that's fabulous. Now I have to get some more. Let's get that off. Let's just cut one more, or some pieces off as I go along. And there's a piece there. I'm just tidying the stem up, so we'll use those. We'll try and turn the leaves white before I place them in. Sometimes when you place them in and you've glued it, you know, and you can't seem to get your fingers down at the bottom where you want to twist the leaves. So just try it before you go. And place it in. Let's just turn these leaves around. Oops. And we'll place one more in. Well, I say one more. I've got a little one spare, so I will use that one up. I just look where there's not much on one, like here, I could just incorporate this little one in. With it, so it looks a little bit more. So there is our eucalyptus, so I'm not going to need any more of that. Now let's look at the bells of Ireland. These are exceptionally long. Let's just have a look. They are really long, guys. So do I cut it up? We'll hang back. I may not put them in. We'll just hang back a little bit. Now I'm going to put it in because I've got the myrtle. I think I'm going to have to cut it around there. So let's cut it there. So then I can place one and then just bend it, give it a bit more of a natural look. We'll place it around here. So let me just lift up the and then again look for somewhere where it could go. There, and then I'll cut this stem. And I will place this one down here. Oops, one of the leaves fell off. So let me just glue that back on. And I'm going to cut the stem at a 45-degree angle just to make it easier to push it through the wicker. Let's bend that one around a little bit. And then I'm going to use another one. I don't want to use too many. So I'll use another one and I'll just bring it in the center. Again, I'm going to bend it because the stems are exceptionally straight. So let's bend it, give it a bit of movement so it's natural. And we'll bring that there. Oops, I've done it again. It's the only thing with these that, which you can't help, some of the leaves will pop off. Just glue them back on and they'll be good to go. So I don't need... Hello? One moment. Sorry about that, guys. It's my new neighbour came round. The courier had left a parcel here for him. Right, let's have a look where we're going to go. We're going to add in now our boxwood, and we're going to add in some around in the more of the top. So we'll just place one in here, spread it out. If you've got the boxwood I've got, just allow it to again look for a hole and settle in and sit quite comfortable. I can't get them all tangled up. Again, like here, you'll just see a little like pocket and you think, oh yes, I can get a stem in there. So then just pop a stem in. Like here. You may not be able to push it all the way in like you would on a wreath, a grapevine wreath. Just, you know, sit it in as far as it'll go, but make sure you put plenty of glue on because there is some bigger holes than others. So just have it like that. Like there's a big hole here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go next to that bigger hole and place that in a smaller gap. And in there as well. How many have I got? 1, 2, there's 4 pieces. So I may bring these 4 pieces on the outer side. Oops. Let's get the glue string. I've put some more glue sticks in the glue pan so it's stringy. And then we'll put the other 2 down here as well. So we've got in our boxwood. So what I'm wanting to place in is the myrtle. I may need some more greenery. So I've cut a few pieces off already. Not to place in. Let's have a look. Because I wanted the myrtle because of the bells of Ireland with them being quite long, to place those there. So we'll get those in around the bells of Ireland. And if there's a big enough hole to place in 2 stems next to each other, you know, do that as well. Because then that will give the others a bit more of a support also. You may find it sometimes slightly harder to push things in. But, oh, I found another one, guys. Oh, we'll use that. We'll place that around the centre. So yeah, just use them. We'll bring this one around as well. There's a hole there, so we'll place that one in there. Let me just stand up. Now we'll pop that one in as well. So I'm just bringing these on the outside, and these are also going to give movement. Just push that a little bit more. And we'll get one here as well. And then I've got one. How many more have I got? Quite a few. So I may bring some smaller ones on the inside. There's a bit of a hole here, so we'll bring that one there. It's all trial and error when you're placing them in. Oh, I've got another wobble on. I've cut more than I really need. So I'm going to have these going quite, you know, everywhere. So there's movement on the inside as well as the outer side. That will go here. Is there any smaller ones? Yeah. I'm going to pop one here. I think I need one here. Now I've got one piece here on its own. They're long pieces. So I may just use this because it's been put on a pick. Maybe because it's come off and I couldn't find where it went, so I placed it on a pick so I didn't lose it. So we'll stick that one there. So I'm not going to place any more on. So let's just place these together. So that's all our myrtle. I'll just place the band around. And put those out the way. Let's have a look at the roses. I've only got 5 out, but you can place as much as you want in. I want to mix the roses in with our myrtle. So I'm going to place one in here. So it's mixed in. Let me just cut the stems slightly short, or shorter. And we'll bring one here. We'll bring one down to the bottom first as well and mix it in. Let's see if that's not going. You see, now that's not going fully in. I can't push that in and I don't want it that long. So then I'll just shorten the stem and place it where I've just tried to put it. There we go. And I'll bring one around here, and I will bring some out so they're facing different directions, so they're not all in the same direction. So I'll have some facing in, some facing out. Oops, that's a bit big, that gap. So where can we place? We'll go where the myrtle is. And put that further down facing inwards. And then we'll have this one here. So we've got those in like that. The bow, I was thinking of placing that here. So let's just maybe attach that before it's too late. So I'm going to use one of these little wicker things that I can get the cable tie under. So I'll pull the cable tie to the max so it can't go any further, just so I can thread it through like so. And then cable tie it on. Let's just make sure it's sitting. And then we'll just cut off the rest of the cable tie. So that is that. I don't know what I'm going to do with the tail ends yet. I may cut them or I may just leave them slightly hanging. Just give them a little curl. Like so. So that is our myrtle and roses in. I'm going to place these in as well. Get those in. I don't know how many I've got. So we'll use those. I've got one here that's got them in different areas, so I'll place those on if I can. I think I had this trouble last time where it was hard to pull them off. So let's just twist and loosen the glue. There we go. So if you have anything that's quite hard to remove from the stem because it's really been glued on well, try and twist to manipulate it and loosen the glue and break that seal like I am here. And it's just so, and there we have it. So I'll place those on single picks. Just get that bit off. There we go. I just dropped a rubber band. So we'll put those on picks in a moment, but what I'm going to do, I've got two what are quite long, well long, I say, got quite a few on. So I'm going to place one there in between these two roses, like so. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom in between these two roses. Place one in there. Now I'm going to go underneath the tail ends and put one just in there. And above where the tail ends are here as well. Place that one in there. Now the others I'll place on smaller single picks and pop them in on the inside. And then do that one here. And then these ones what I've cut off. Oh, I've got one here, look, I didn't see that. So let's put this one coming in. I can get it in there like that. And then these we'll place on single picks. And then we'll use these and place these in as well. So then we've used all these what I had. And I'm going to cut these stems down shorter. Or do I bring them actually out on the outer side? No, I'm going to bring them on the outer side. I've just decided I'm going to take at least about 1 inch off of the bottom of the stem. And I'm going to just bring on there. Have a look where there's a hole. So the only thing is trying to find a hole for them, but keep going, you will get there and find one. I'm mainly using the bigger holes for when I've got a thicker stem. They're perfect for that. So we've got that around the outer side as well, so we've used those up. Now I do have, let's just, well, these come in bunches with I think 7 stems on. I may bring those around the outer side. I may just use 5. So when I say before, I think yesterday, when you've got bunches like this, let me just move that out of the way. Bunches like this, I mean, these are push-ups. I like to bring them to the top because you seem to get, then you get the benefit of having all the foliage and everything at the top, and it's able to be seen, unless you want it compact or, you know, or loose, should I say. So now we've got all these stems, which you could cut right off to here. But if you don't want them that long, don't cut them at the bottom and throw it away, and then obviously you're going to cut it and then waste that bit. So just go wherever you'd like to cut it, and then you are left with that. So you don't have to cut those off. So let me just cut these. So you've got these. Save this. So then when you come in to do something where you want to use as filler foliage or anything, then you can just, let me just get the smallest one here. Then you can just snip it then off and use that as a pick just to put in some scraps if you haven't got anything, just to put in at the bottom and use as a pick, and then you can get really down at the bottom and use it as depth. So save those. Just get yourselves a little bucket or a little tub and place them all in there so they're not hanging around everywhere and you know where they are. So now I'm going to bring these out here. So I've got a gap there. I can see where that one can go. So I've got the movement in there with it being yellow and orange. And place some in between your foliage as well, especially like here there's just that green there, so pop them in with it. I may bring, let's have a look, let's just put these in first. Oops, I've caught it on my jacket. So we've got those now all around on the outer side. So I don't need any more of those. Now I do have the orange poppies. I'll see what I'm going to do with those, but I'm going to place in, I was looking at something else in yellow and I couldn't remember what it was. I was thinking of popping these on their own stem. I'm going to look if I can pull them. Yeah, we can pull them off. Oops. So I'll place just these on their own pick so then I can dot them around. We'll just take off a few. I don't want the foliage with it, even though I like it. So I'll save that stem. I don't, because I could use the foliage on something else. Let's just pop a bit of yellow in as well, because there's more orange than there is yellow. go. So I'm wanting to bring some yellow up so we can see it. I'm going to keep them at that length, so I'm going to go in between. There we go. Let's bring one in here. That's not sitting really very strong, so we'll place it in another area where it's tighter. Because I look for smaller holes for thinner stems and bigger holes for the thicker stems. Let's bring one in here. Because some of these wickers or these rattan are actually glued together or painted together, so you can't get anything in. So I'm going to bring, I've got 3, so I'm going to bring 1 here, 1 in the middle, and then 1 at the top. They are lovely to have and to do an arrangement on. And we'll do one up here also. So I'm not going to place too many in because we have got our wax flower. I was just thinking of something a bit more yellow what I could add in, or lemon, along those lines. I mean, if you wanted daffodils, what about daffodils? I have some yellow daffodils. So I could, let me pull those out. I could place those. Yeah, we'll add those in. So let's get those in first. I'm going to bring one again on the ends. That might be a bit too long, the stem, so let's cut it a little bit again. And have that sat like that. I know some people have, you know, told me that they are slightly scared of these wreaths, vases, because they don't know where to place things in them or if it's going to hold. And I always, you know, say look for the smaller holes for the slimmer stems and bigger holes for the thicker stems. But they do look beautiful. I did a lady one about a year or so ago, and she wanted it for outdoors, but then when she got it, she wouldn't put it outdoors because she wanted to see it every day, because she just, you know, it looked beautiful when she sent me the picture in her home. Really pretty. And don't be frightened to place in yellows around each other. because what I've done, I've got 2 lemon colour yellows here, and then I've got a vibrant yellow here, so it's breaking those up. Right, that's a bit long again, so it's trial and error to see how far you can get the stem in because of how it's been, you know, glued together. So it is a little bit like that, but if you can't seem to get your floral in too much, the stem, then just pull it back out and cut the stem, make it shorter, because that's all it needs. So we'll place some on the outer side, around here, I guess, around this area. We want it to look quite floral, lots of floral. I can't get that one in there. When you do put them in, they do stop you at a certain area. You can feel it. If you're trying to push it in, it won't go any further. There we go. One more. Pop that in around here. So we've got our daffodils in. And that's how it's looking at the moment. Isn't that pretty? Where we can still see that. So let me just see about these orange. I've placed some on single picks because there is a lot of orange, and I want to balance it so it's not too much of one colour and not enough of the other, because I have got those. I think that would be too much so I'm wondering if I should go for some more different greenery. I've got these left over from a project I did yesterday. Let's have a look. Pop in some lighter greenery. Yeah, we'll use those instead of the orange. Just so we can use all this bit up. I think some of them slightly got more on than others. That's not a problem. Oops, I just pulled that one off. I can't get the band off. Where did that one come? Oh, it's here. So I'm just popping looking for the bit where that piece came. Oh, it's here, look. There. So I've got some longer than others. So the longer ones I'll place there. And then I've got 3 shorter. So the smaller ones, what I'm going to do, pop those in there. And I'm placing them vertical because I can see a gap where they will just go straight down into the hole. Like so. And again, this is where I'm covering up some of my wreath. I'm going to cut another one off. So I'm going to do one, let's say around here. And there's not really many holes around this area, so you may have to have, if it's, you know, on the wicker here, where if it's closed up a lot. Let's see if I've got an area, you know, like in here where it's closed up and you can't get, then just make your stem longer and find a hole for it to fit in. Like here would need one because there's a gap here. So we'll place that there. And that there as well. So I've got, so what do I bring? I may bring the 3 longer pieces on around the outer side. So one there, one in the centre, and one at the bottom. I could bring that there instead. And then one down here. So we've used those grasses. And again, I've placed some of these wax flower on single pick. Now they are yellow and orange. I'm going to need something here because there's just a lot of green here. So I'm going to place one at a longer length. Well, let's just see where I'm going to place it. And have it hanging down there. I do like wax flower. I loved it when I was doing real flowers. I'm going to do another one here as well. And place that one in. Let's get rid of that big glue string what's following me. So I can't remember how many I did. I placed on picks. Let's have a look. Right, that's how many I placed. So I'm going to bring some on the outer side. Bring those this side. So I'm just going around the outer side just to add in a few there. And look for where there's
a lot of green and go through the centre of the greenery. So I'm breaking it up. That may need to be a bit smaller. I may bring some actually on the inside now. So I'll just cut that one shorter than this one. Just use these other two for on top. Around here for one. And then we'll go around here. When I do little flowers like this, I don't have like an order of where they are placed. I just think with smaller flowers, you don't really zoom in on those. So I place them wherever I feel one would, you know, look nice or need to be. I need something down there. So I may just get a... Let's use these oddments I've got here of the bay leaves. Just use a few of those for our depth, because I can see just a small gap around here where I probably need to be placing something in. Yes. So those picks that I said what you cut off the bunch, they are good for things like this, to place as things for depth. Let's just bring one there. I'll bring one up here as well. And I can bring some on the inside. How many have I got left? 4. So we'll use all these. I'll cut them shorter. I'm not going to put the poppies in. So I'm going to go on the inside again, where the centre is. So it's not just the grass that I placed in on its own in the centre. We've got a mixture of a couple of different ones. I'm going to place these on the outer side, but as depth. I'm going to do that down here as well. I can find a hole. Right, let's cut that one, because it's not very deep, so I'm going to have to cut it quite short. So I'm not going to place in anything else. I'm going to leave it like that. If you don't want a bow, you know, you can always just place in, you know, a big head for a flower there in its place and some more foliage. If you want an attachment, oops, if I can get that on, then attach it how you know, with a cable tie, because you won't be able to go through the other side. So So it's best to use a cable tie and thread it through a hole, through a gap here, and come back up through the top as well, because you can't get through the center to the back unless if you attach it around, you know, all the way around, going under and over. But I don't like to see that, because then you can see your mechanics on the back. So I tend to, you know, I mean, sometimes it can't be helped that you do see your mechanics, but you could put a piece of foliage over it, glue a piece of foliage over your mechanics, just so it's not visible. So that is our wicker love heart spring summer wreath in yellows and oranges, and I think that is really pretty, really pretty. So we're going to place that on the easel. I still haven't got a hook on. I'm terrible. So let's see. It is heavy. Place it there. So let me just turn it around. Get rid of all the muck. And then bring the camera up. Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? It is very hard to see. I wonder if I can just close. So let me just zoom out, guys. So you can get it in the screen. So that's how our lovely, beautiful orange and yellow wreath, wicker wreath or rattan. Some people have different names for them, which again, some people have wondered how to glue things in the glorious oranges and yellows to give you that lovely spring summer lift. And I always find oranges and yellows always give you a smile. It really makes you smile because they're so pretty. And yeah, we're just using myrtle long flowers. If you haven't got myrtle like this, that's if you're doing yellows and oranges. Just, you know, look for something, another floral where it comes on a longer stem when you've got several going down, and just use it like that. You could like use on here delphinium stalks, you know, the long piece to go down. Gladioli, you could use that. Even maybe wisteria, hanging wisteria, and have that hanging down there as well. And you could, I'm trying to think what else you could use, or even if, you know, if you buy the trailing florals, what you'd put in a hanging basket or a wall arrangement, you could, like, you know, morning glory or anything like that, have those coming down, and then you can cut the morning glory shorter and have them coming around the sides and everything like that sort of thing, or pansies, whichever you desire. And then I've added in, if you're doing yellows and oranges, I've added in the yellow lavender with the yellow and orange wax flower, and then just some boxwood for some movement, and our little gerbera daisies at the bottom in yellows and oranges as well, and our green eucalyptus also, and our lovely little daffodils, and pop those in with our thistles as well, in a very pale lemon, along with the pale lemon roses. And then just some grasses. You know, you could add in longer grasses if you like, or this short grass like I've got. I think they call it sword grass. And what other foliage did we? Oh, we placed in a bit of the sage leaves, you know, for depth as well with the grass, just so we could cover some of the areas up. But overall, I think That is really pretty. And again, if you do not want a bow and you're a person that doesn't like a bow, or your customer doesn't like bows, just place a big statement piece floral in there, like maybe a big peony in, you know, yellow, or even an orange one. Or you could put in hydrangeas, you could put in a big magnolia flower or a sunflower. You could place those in there instead. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you like the way it's turned out, and also how to use a wicker or a rattan wreath base to make a flower arrangement in a wreath or anything like that, whether it's a love heart or a circle, you know, or it doesn't matter, they all still look pretty. And you can get these in different colours, so not many colours, you know. You can get it in the natural, the light grey and white. I've had all of those colours before. I don't know if they do other colours now, but if you want, just buy a white one, and you'd like to change the colour of it. You know, for example, if you'd like it to be lilac, get some wood spray, what you can buy in a can, just like you spray your florals, and just spray it a different colour. And you can get the wood spray from any hardware store, or any craft, you know, craft stores may sell it as well, but it's mainly hardware stores you'll find it, or even online. Go to Amazon, you'll get it from there as well. So have a wonderful day. Please subscribe, share and like, and all the best. And if, you know, for the day, if you're going to do this, have fun. And whichever colour you're going to do, still have fun, guys, and enjoy it. And it'll put a lovely smile on your face. And I think I quite like that. It might look nice on my door. I've just put a new one on my door, but I quite like this one because it's lifting. So, yeah. The other one I've got pinks. I think this one would look really nice. So, but be careful again, because they are heavy. So to make sure you pull it, when you place your hook on it, it will be strong enough to hold the wreath with the floral and foliage in. Especially if you get a windy day, you don't want a thin hook that it will snap as the wind is blowing it. You want something really, you know, sturdy. So again, press that subscribe button. Share it to your friends and family, colleagues, neighbours. Bring them along to come and have a look what we do. And maybe, again, as I always say, it may inspire them to have a go if they don't already do it. And they may get hooked. So thank you again, everybody, for all your wonderful comments. And have a great day. Take care, good health, and God bless. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye. So let's zoom in. Maybe a click. Oh, yeah. Let me just move that stand. I'm going to see if I need to zoom out and come. Let me get it back to the normal setting. Right, there we go. There is our myrtle in orange, our bells of Ireland, our lovely lemon roses, our wispy boxwood, and our sage leaves, and our lemon thistles, and our lovely daffodils. Let me think. Oh, and our yellow lavender as well. And where's the, oh, it's here. And the orange and yellow wax flower. And our gerbera daisies, where they come as yellow and orange together, combined on the stem. And then our lovely swordgrass, which is a light colour, like looks a bit like a grey colour here, with like sage green on it. And then our bow, where it's the orange one is a 7/8 RG ribbon,
And the yellow and white one is a 5/8 RG ribbon as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you give it a go if you do have one of these wreath bases. So give it a go. They are easy to do, and always remember again, where there's a smaller hole, use thinner stems, and the big chunky holes, I'd use your thicker stems to be in there, because the thinner stems in a big hole will probably just come loose and fall out. So have a wonderful day, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.